welcome to An Expression from the Heart. I'm just going to share a little bit of an update on the more practical aspects of what's been going on as I get back to sharing some expressions on this channel. I know that that I love doing the heart journeys, but that the short form, just life chat updates are also really appreciated, so I'm going to feel into doing that a little bit more too. So we're going back into fall here, and I guess it's time to just like reflect a bit upon like this whole year because as we move into fall and winter, we know that this is a time for, you know, starting to go inwards again after being out more and with the outward energies of summer. And I guess I would say that in this since the last fall, I've been called to just do so much clearing, cleaning, decluttering, like continuing to get rid of what no longer serves, like on these massive levels. And so I can report after a year of like really focusing on that, on like to depths that I have never known and that were like painful, like on some levels, that wow, like I don't know, it's so much better now, so much better now. And I mean, on top of all of that, there's also the initiation that is motherhood that I've been really going through, which I think very, very disorienting, but also very beautiful, but also an initiation. And so I do like want to talk about to what extent I think that becoming a mother, becoming parents is part of our like spiritual journey and a spiritual path that allows us to really connect with what is essential and really let go of all the fluff or even like some of the past, and keep going even deeper into knowing ourselves and knowing what our priorities are. And so I've just had to reevaluate so many things, as I've been doing for years, but this has really brought it to a whole new level. And I can report that it feels very good. I'm feeling really light and really a lot more focused. And I think that that's what it does, you know. I'm suddenly feeling called to express gratitude for somebody who left a comment on my channel for a long time ago that I really felt like it moved me to record another video that I'll share a link to in the description to this video, because at that time it was a question of practicing like how I would respond or react to comments that I receive, but back then like this person said, was saying like stop making these videos and like go have a baby, and I was just like, oh my god, like who says that to somebody? Which to a certain extent, like, you know, I still agree that it's like it's not up to us to go and like comment on somebody's channel and tell them what to do. However, now I think that person was like right. I think that the person was right, and I do have a different outlook on how time is spent when like we don't have kids, when it's a choice, you know, and that I'm really grateful for that idea being like seeded in me, and I'm really grateful that I like made also just that decision to finally listen to this inner calling to do it, because stepping into what I'm calling being a priestess mama is really great. And like if you would have talked to me like 10 years ago, you would have never known that that I'd be saying this now, that like I'm actually feeling very like content and a lot of peace. Yeah, there's always challenges, but I mean overall feeling a lot better, actually stepping into very traditional roles, traditional with like a new twist, you know. I think that we're going back to like old ways of doing things, but in a new way, like in a more conscious way. And so I've just been feeling really called to like reclaim what it is to be a woman on my terms, and yeah, I'm just feeling like so much more aligned, because I recognize to what extent I was really into like very masculine energy programming and indoctrination, and as I've worked on reconnecting with feminine, like my feminine energy core, these last few years, it's led me here, which is so much better. And again, like people would not recognize me today saying that I'm actually happy, like caring for my home, and with this mission to like make what I consider a 12D home for my family to thrive in. And it's like, not even is it just a home, but it's also a temple. And that's where the priestess mama piece comes in. It's like, this is the temple that my family is going to be thriving in, and the temple that protects us and that gives us this space to thrive, to replenish ourselves, but also to explore and experiment and create. And that requires a certain amount of work. Like, I've been in my new house for, well, my first house, because I've been busy traveling and doing everything except for settling down up until 3 years ago. I actually arrived in this house right before the first lockdown happened, which was, not a coincidence in timing. It was totally intuition led, and was absolutely perfect, because, we were doing renos, and I've been building this foundation for my home, for my family since then, and it's like required like a lot of work to be focusing like on the home in that way, and on myself in that way, to recognize all of these patterns that come up when we stay in one place for a long time. We can see these patterns more, and I hadn't been in one place for 3 years, like in a long time. So yeah, it brought a lot up to the surface, and then with the, this decision and this inner desire to have a baby that was like really coming from a soul and heart-led place, rather than, chasing other desires that I recognize were not actually coming from my soul, but were actually coming from fear, and from like outside expectations. Yeah, it's been really, really cool. Really cool. So just like really getting organized, relearning like habits that actually are like most important to supporting my physical vessel, and supporting my family, and being able to really do what is most important, which again, coming back to the essentials, is recognizing that like that more traditional role is actually more essential, and if I allow myself to surrender, I can recognize that my husband actually provides for us, and he does that very beautifully, and he's like been stepping even more into his masculine energy of like really providing for us, protecting us, supporting us. So it's really cool to be playing with these energies and really reclaiming them for ourselves, because we were both inverted into the other energies, and we weren't happy in those roles. So it's really cool to like be coming around back to this, and I often think about a conversation that I had in Africa with a Nigerian man. He said at the end of it, like, I was not expecting to talk about these kinds of things with a white girl from Canada, but we talked about like the meaning of life, and for him, he said that it was like to have kids, and at the time I was like, oh, no, like that's way too simple. Like, it's not what it's about. And I'm starting to think like, yeah, actually I think he was right. Actually, I think he was right. And it's not necessarily like having kids like in that sense that I used to always think that it was like, oh, have the kids, get the house, have the career, have the car. You know, I was like so against all of that. It's just like, I'm not doing that path. And then because I think, again, there's a way of doing it that I personally witnessed a lot around me, where that's just like very disconnected, actually, not very conscious, not very intentional. And so it's about now being able to do that from an intentional space, actually, with a different, different way of being, let's say. Yeah. I think that's all I'm going to say today. I don't want this to be too long. But yeah, I thought that I would hop on and just share like very, practically and more real. Well, the thing is, I know that that a part of my calling is to just share truth and beauty, share the path for anybody who it might speak to or can, help ignite some kind of fire within their heart. So wanted to do that just like I'm having a conversation with you, and on top of my priestessing, which is like the heart journeys that I want to do with you as well, because I really want to continue getting back into holding more circles, and like more spiritual space to chill together. So that piece of it is bonus, actually. It's actually coming from an overflow, and like in some previous videos I have shared, like, oh, it's fear if I'm bringing up business stuff, and it has been in the past, but now I'm also seeing like it's not just that. It's actually an overflow and a heart calling and mission, and it's really just bonus, because now that I can like surrender into recognizing that my husband can support us, and I don't have to force myself to work, that I'm safe, that I'm provided for, that I'm connected. Anything else is bonus on top of that, and I get to choose, and I don't have to like desperately take any job anymore, or like please somebody else. You know, I can do what feels right and super aligned for me, and that's like super exciting. So it's like a whole different energy and a whole different layer of like how much I'm going to put into something or not. So yeah, it's good news. All right, so I'm going to go on that note, and I'm wishing you lots of love, and I'll see you in another video.